Hey guys, Mystic here. Today, we're going to be talking about raid attunements and how you can get attuned to raiding. Now, there's going to be about 3 different paths that you can take to get yourself attuned to raiding. Now, let me give them to you at a very high level. I have created my infamous slides presentation on this, so you can also look at that information for reference as well. But at the very high level, what we're looking at are 3 different ways of doing this. One is we're actually looking at purchasing what's called a Procured Genesis Key from the online store. Now, this allows you to get right into raiding in both datascapes and genetic archives. Right away, it's called Procured Genesis Key, and you can find it in the online store. We'll take a look at that in about a minute or so. The next method is if you join a large raiding guild or guild that is actively raiding and looking for raiding members. What you can do is you can actually leverage their cache of Genesis or of these Genesis keys, meaning when they raid, sometimes they get as a loot drop a fully functional attuned Genesis key, which they can then in turn hand out to new members, and in turn you can potentially ask a guild for a key if they have some to share. So that's method number 2, is asking your guild. The third method is actually to do the attunement process yourself. Now, it's the path less taken these days because you can just purchase the key from the online store without having to do the manual process. But if you want to follow that process, not a problem. I got you covered. I got the steps listed out for you that you'll have to follow and what you'll actually want to look for in terms of placement in the dungeons and things like that. So let's take a look first and foremost at the first option, which was purchase it from the store. So you see here, down always here in the lower left-hand corner, we have our in-game store icon right here, right? Second icon from the left. If we click on that, it'll bring open the interface to the store. And you see down here, we have a section called Unlocks. If we click on that, you'll see we get a bunch of different icons here, but primarily what we're looking for is this one right here called Procured Genesis Key. If we click on that, you'll see here, in a hurry to finish attunement, 1 Procure Genesis Key used to complete the raid attunement process. This purchase can only be claimed by a single character. So please note that if you have multiple characters that you want to be in a position to raid with, you're gonna have to purchase this key multiple times, as a key is only applicable to 1 character. Now you see here, right now it costs 790 protobucks. Okay, or 395 omnibits. Omnibits, if you remember, so you can see here, is a currency gained by adventuring through Nexus. You can use the currency to acquire a variety of in-game store items and services. So simply playing the game, you'll earn omnibits. Now there's a distinction here though, or there's a difference. If you're a free-to-play player, the maximum number of omnibits you can earn per week is 120. If you are a signature member, you can earn 360 omnibits per week. So obviously it pays in that particular instance to be a subscriber, but that's neither here nor there because you can do it without actually having to be a subscriber. Now, if you do have enough of the currency, you basically can click the purchase with omnibits and you will then receive your Procure Genesis Key. And when you do, it looks something like this. Bring up my player profile again by hitting P, or the letter P key. You'll see here, down in the lower right hand corner, right here, this position, mostly open for new players and people who just hit 50. You see here, it says Procured Genesis Key. That's where that key goes. With this key in that place, I'm able to actually go genetic archives and datascapes on this character. Now, the same thing will also exist if you are a member of a large raiding guild or a raiding guild in general, and they have some of these keys. You can acquire one from them and put it right here in the same position as well. Now, the last way to do this is the manual method, and that's a little bit more complicated. So let's take a moment here and we're going to swap over to our presentation and let's take a look at what's in that material. And again, the link to the video or the link to the presentation in this video will be provided in the comments section of this video. So use it for reference and definitely take a look there. Now, let's bring open our, here we go. So raid attunement. Now I put it here, current as of today's date, February 16th, 2018. This way you know it's good for 2018, and if things change in the future, you'll know when this information is dated as of. Now, like again, these were the three methods, right? Purchase it, your guild can provide it, or you can complete the attunement process. Here's a picture of the purchasing method, right? What it costs today, Omnibits and Protobucks. And here's the manual attunement process. The guild part, I think you know. Just ask your guild, see if they have one. If they do, and they want to give you one, then you'll get one. The manual attunement process. If you are actually bold enough to follow this path least traveled these days, what you'll need to do are several things. First and foremost, you're going to do what's called the Bronze Age. So let me show you back in game really quickly. We're back in game here. Now, let's look at this. Here's how you can see what's actually needed for your Genesis key to be unlocked. If you go to your menu here and you go to achievements, you'll see we have our codex here, right? If we scroll down in our codex all the way down to raids, okay, and we expand raids, we'll see we have security keys. Okay, you'll see here we have access granted to the genetic archives, access granted to the datascapes, and you see here we also have the Genesis key. If you're doing this manually, these are the steps you're going to have to follow in order to become attuned. The Genesis key, basically you'll get this key once you complete several tasks as being a new 50. And I think it comes from the caretaker. I could be wrong, but I think it comes from the caretaker. Then you do the Bronze Age. And the Bronze Age basically is what we just mentioned. 4 dungeons with at least bronze level scoring. So we have to complete the following dungeons, earning at least bronze on each run. Now that's pretty easy to get to, okay? Just completing it should give you bronze. Now, I've also listed them from the easiest to hardest in terms of the dungeons, right? So, Stormtalon's Lair, Kelvarath, Skullcano, and Sanctuary of the Sword Maiden. Bronze in each one of these will provide you with a checkbox on the Bronze Age. Now, you also have to kill a side or an additional boss in Kelvarath called Kytheria. Let's go with that. I'm horrible at names. Basically, you need to actually activate this. You need to activate a bridge to actually get to her. So she's in Kelvarath. So if you're doing your manual process of attunement and you're looking for bronze in each one, when you get to the Kelvarath dungeon, not only do you have to complete Kelvarath at least a bronze level, you also have to kill the additional boss in there. Okay, once you complete getting the key, doing all 4 of these dungeons, killing the additional boss, you're going to be attuned to the genetic archives first. So you are attuned, but you're only attuned to the first raid tier. Now, to complete the attunement process, what you have to do is you have to then clear genetic archives. Once you clear genetic archives, and we go back here and take a look again at our video, or in WildStar here. If you see here, Omnipotent, right? Over the Gorge is the additional boss in Kelvarath. Omnipotent is actually clearing genetic archives. So, following along, you've gotten the Genesis key, that'd be a green mark. You've gotten the Bronze Age done. You would have done the optional boss, that'd be done. And if you cleared genetic archives, that would also be checked. Then you'll be at the datascapes is opened. So that's how you basically can get attuned to genetic archives and then to the datascapes. Now, real quick, back in the presentation. Let me jump back to it myself. And here again, I'm showing you the exact same image, right? Here's how you can track your progress on the manual approach. So you see here, in this screenshot, I actually do have a check mark right there on the Genesis key. And you can see that was step 1 of 5, right? So that's how you're going to go, or that's what you're going to follow if you're going to do the manual process. So again, just to recap, to get attuned to raiding in WildStar, there's 3 paths you can take. Purchase the Procure Genesis Key easiest and least hassle. Second easiest is to get into a guild, or if you're in a guild today, ask them if they have a key, a Genesis key, that they can give you for raiding. The last way, and again, the path of that's least traveled, right, is to actually complete the attunement process, which is, again, those 4 dungeons, the secondary or the side boss. Then it's completing genetic archives, and then you're tuned across the board. So this information will be available in the video description, this presentation here. So definitely take a look at it for reference. If you guys have any questions or any things you'd like me to discuss or shoot a video on in the future, by all means, please let me know. So I hope this has been informative for you guys on how to actually get attuned to raid in WildStar. For now, guys, I hope you're having a great time in WildStar. I hope you're having fun. And you know what? If you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to stop by my stream to ask. Remember, I stream almost every day, 1 p.m. Eastern for about an hour. And then again in the evenings from 8 p.m. Eastern, probably till midnight or so, or unless I pass out before then. I'm over at Twitch TV /Mystic813. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in game. Till then, guys, have a great day.